I grew up during the heyday of the Arctic roll, when the heady combination of raspberry sponge with vanilla ice cream felt like a luxury treat. It still does. I want to make this old favourite but reflect a bit of modern Britain by incorporating an exotic twist which I found on the streets of Leeds. Originally from India, kulfi is a frozen dessert. It's a bit like ice cream, but it's thicker, more creamy, and comes in flavours we wouldn't normally associate with puddings, like cardamom, saffron, and pistachio. Mike Tattersall started his artisan kulfi business after getting an original recipe for mango kulfi from his wife's Punjabi parents, who still get to regularly taste test and give him the thumbs up.
Very nice, Michael.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, absolutely delicious. It's more than I expected.
That's great news.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you like it.
It's very nice. It tastes good, and it's very healthy. The ingredients are pure, texture and taste is always same. Michael done us really proud, and I'm very, very happy, and wish him all the best. Thank you.
Mike still makes all his kulfi in the same place he started, his own kitchen.
The main difference between ice cream and kulfi is ice cream does have air mixed into it, but kulfi is a dense iced dessert with no air pumped into it.
Today he's making a batch of mango flavour kulfi.
I've got a mix of reduced milk and cream, and I'm just about to add a mango pulp to it. There's 3 key ingredients: reduced milk, cream, and a little bit of sweetened condensed milk. It takes a little bit of a while to mix in the pulp. The pulp's quite dense. The product's ready to go in the freezer to work its magic, I suppose.
Now in its 4th year, the business is growing, and Mike's recently invested in a tuk-tuk to take his exotic indie ices on the road. Today he's setting up Asha, that's the name of his tuk-tuk, in Handpicked Hall in Leeds to see what the locals make of his homemade kulfi.
A lot of people have experienced kulfi in Indian restaurants, but mass-produced kulfi is not the same as artisan kulfi that I make.
He sells a range of over 10 flavours.
The biggest seller is almond and pistachio, closely followed by mango.
Amongst his popular flavours, Mike has the 1947, inspired by India's independence, which combines 3 layers in one kulfi stick: almond and pistachio, cardamom, and classic mango.
It's very nice, very tasty. Cardamom brings more flavour out.
It's actually delicious.
First 2 layers were nice, and the bottom was mango, so it was sweet, but it's nice.
Mike's wobbly bobbly is covered in hundreds and thousands.
Very nice.
Delicious. Unique.
That was yummy. Oh, I can eat more, definitely.
Mike has developed a passionate following for his artisan kulfi, which tastes very different from the sweet desserts served in Indian restaurants.
Very nice.
I like it. I like it the right lot.
I'll definitely try this again.
If I had a choice between this and the run-of-the-mill ice cream, I'll go for this every time.
It was lovely, yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I remember India.
Did it? Oh, lovely. I was getting lovely feedback today. In fact, some of the ladies were saying it was better than kulfi they'd tasted on the streets of India. I definitely consider myself the king of kulfi, or should I say the Maharaja of kulfi.
I want to kick a much maligned 70s dessert back into the spotlight, and what better way than with a Bollywood boost from Mike's exotic homemade kulfi. And our mobile kulfi man, Mike, is here with me. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Paul.
So what have we got here?
We've got a wobbly bobbly and a 1947.
So what's on the top bit?
That's almond pistachio with cardamom.
Nice. Okay, what's the middle bit?
That's a plain cardamom.
Nice. What's the bottom bit?
Mango kulfi.
Nice. You have to try this. This is absolutely delicious. I mean, I find the flavours in this creamier than an ice cream. It's got, for me, it's got more flavour than an ice cream as well, to be honest. And I mean, it's quite clever what you've done there with the Neapolitan. I mean, you do all this at home as well.
Yeah, all in my home kitchen. Yeah.
But it's clever to put it into an ice cream, which actually, after a curry, that would go down a treat.
Yeah. The cardamom on its own just really cuts through the fat, I find, and the flavour comes through quite strong.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to make a real classic now, which is Arctic roll. Now, I remember Arctic roll when I was 6, 7. It was a big treat in my house. My mum used to say, go to the freezer, go and get your pudding. And it was always the first thing I saw, Arctic roll. Normally amongst, to be honest, plates full of plated pies, apple pies, but Arctic roll was a big favourite, especially on a Sunday. I'm making a classic Swiss roll sponge mix for my Arctic roll. What you're going to do is mix this together to ribbon stage. And I'll show you what that is. To get a ribbon consistency, whisk your mixture until you can see it holding its shape. And you can see, at the moment, it disappears almost straight away. So it needs more mixing. Straight on, just means I can have another mouthful. It's very refreshing, more so than an ice cream.
Yeah.
Now this looks about right. Now look, it's holding more. That is fine. Now the next thing to do is fold your flour in. Now, if you get a little bit of flour in, remember to sift your flour for a super light sponge. Carry on folding until you can't see any more flour in the mixture. So get underneath it, cut through the middle, underneath and cut through the middle. Once it's nicely folded, tip your mixture into a pre-lined tin and spread it thinly with a spatula.
Would this rise in the oven when you're baking it, or is it going to be?
It will jump slightly. No, it will jump slightly. Because you've whisked the eggs up, that'll give you the volume that you need. You don't want a lot of rise, because at the end of the day, Arctic roll's meant to be spread out, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Spread the mixture evenly and put it into the oven at 180 degrees for around 10 minutes. I'm cracking on with the sponge I made earlier. Pop the paper onto the cotton board, get some caster sugar, all over the top. Now this is actually going to be on the outside of the roll. And you need to tip this out straight into that. Peel off your paper carefully. And there you have your sponge. Now you need to add your jam. I mean, you can use any jam if you want to.
Yeah, I was wondering about pineapple jam, actually.
Well, you know what? I was just about to say the same thing to you. I was going to say, you could use, if you got mango, you could have a mango puree on there, you could have a pineapple, you could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So if you want to replicate this, Mike,
yeah, no,
that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Bit of saffron in the sponge, would that work?
Don't push it, Mike. We've got some beautiful raspberry jam all over that. Now, this is the tricky bit. Got some kulfi in here. Now, obviously, if you can't get all the kulfi, you can use ice cream. I'm just trying this out to see if it works. Kulfi melts quickly, so don't hang about with this bit. Lay your kulfi pieces in a row and wrap them in greaseproof paper. And try and manipulate that into a sausage, okay? So once you've done that, you pop that into the freezer because it's softened up. I mean, that's softened up already.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Mike, I've got one frozen. Now, undo this very quickly. Pop that onto your sponge. For the fiddly bit, use the greaseproof paper to help you roll the sponge over the filling. Straight over. And straight down. Put a bit of pressure on there. Seal it off down the bottom. Now, you've got to be quick. Lift it onto there. And there is your Arctic roll. Just like I remember my mum making.
Now you find me a kid who isn't excited about an Arctic roll. And if you use Kulfi or posh ice cream, I think you'll win over any grown-up dinner party too.
Do you like that, Mike?
It looks great. Can't wait to taste it.
Neither can I, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer.